Shri Krishna. So today we are going to see the nakshatra Shatabhishak. Shatabhishak means the 100 physicians or the 100 flowers or the 100 different kinds of people who help to cross a place, or the 100 rescuers, or even the 100 flowers. So you can see here, this is a symbol of Shatabhishak. An empty circle. This has lots of significance, though it does not seem to have any significance. It's a mere rubber band, you see, but there's lots of energy flowing into it. Shatabhishak nakshatra has this special kind of an energy flowing through it. This is an empty circle, as you can see. You can visualize things different through it. The things that you can see through the circle are quite different from the things you can see out of the circle. This circle creates a small difference in what you're able to see through it. It seems to be more nice. So such things like empty circles, etc. have lots of importance, and that is a symbol of the nakshatra Shatabhishak. So today we are going to see the star, and let's go, friends. Jai Shri Krishna. So let's continue with the star Shatabhishak. So Shatabhishak is the nakshatra of, is actually a counterpart to Ashwini nakshatra. So if Shatabhishak is a female horse, then Ashwini is the male one. This, along with Mrigashira, there are only very little of these neuter gender stars, of which Shatabhishak is one of them. So Shatabhishak is ruled by Varuna, the god of the cosmic waters. And we can see that Shatabhishak is meaning the 100 healers, the 100 physicians, etc. Bishak means physician in Ayurveda, and Shatabhishak means 100 physicians. So we know that Shatabhishak nakshatra is also present fully in Aquarius. So Purvashada and Shatabhishak both have the same temperament of water, but Shatabhishak has a more mature side of Varuna Deva. Purvashada has that big temperament of Varuna Deva, whereas Shatabhishak has that calming and beautiful temperament of Varuna, the cosmic waters. So the god of the cosmic waters is known as Varuna Deva. So he has thousands of medicines. He's immeasurable. He's totally expansive. He's just like Yama. He cannot be controlled by anyone. He is the most powerful except by the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So only the Lord can control him. Shiva, Krishna and Brahma. Only these three. Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma. Only the Trimurtis can control Yama and Varuna. Nobody else. None of the other devas can even say a word to these three. Varuna, Yama and of course a few more very powerful gods or Ishta Devatas. So that much power is there in the powerful Varuna. Varuna is the most powerful of gods, along with Yama and a few more important gods. So Varuna Deva is the Deva or deity of this star Shatabhishak. Shatabhishak means 100 healers. That means this particular star has a power of healing. But if an illness is contracted under this star, then it will require 100 healers to cure the illness. So that's the only drawback of this nakshatra. But other than that, this nakshatra is superb for beginning a medical practice or studying a medical treatise, etc. But if a medical problem is commenced in this nakshatra, it will require 100 healers or 100 physicians to cure the problem, or the problem will not be cured, is what our ancient seers say. It is said in that way. And Rahu, being the Karaka for Shatabhishak, though there are many other things, Rahu's last nakshatra, Shatabhishak, proves to be more better than the previous nakshatras. So of Ardra, Swati and Shatabhishak, Ardra is not good for Murta purposes. Swati and Shatabhishak. I sometimes use the word dangerous, but please don't mistake me for that, because I use the word dangerous only for few things, and whenever I mean dangerous, I mean only for a particular purpose, because Ardra, all of these nakshatras are used for a particular purpose. So they can be used for even killing somebody, they can be used for a big military operation, and it will be useful in that. So whenever I say dangerous, it means something. So please understand that meaning. So dangerous is only for that. It doesn't mean that a person born Ardra will necessarily be dangerous. So Shatabhishak nakshatra is this star which is owned by Rahu, that has all these benefic things inside it. So Shatabhishak nakshatra is a nakshatra of wheeling. So these people are sometimes very mystical. They do not like their approach to be given out to people. They do not like their mindset, their lives to be given out to people. They keep themselves somewhat like not understandable. They keep themselves in a well to others, though they themselves know that their life might be happy or sad. They do not like others to know their life in any way. So that's about Shatabhishak nakshatra people. Some problem in them is this. It can be a problem and it can also be a benefit. Every single power I've been telling that it can be used in both ways. So nothing is dangerous. But whenever we say dangerous, everything is almost dangerous. Even wealth, fortune, beauty, everything is dangerous almost. Everything is also good. Even the power of death is good, because that is called mukti. There are good and bad or safe and dangerous aspects in our life. So we have to understand that. But Shatabhishak nakshatra is not concerned mostly with dangers. Whenever there is more than 50% dangerous marks for a nakshatra in particular activities, etc., I sometimes call it a little dangerous for tasks. But it again has its own good things and its own bad things too. So please don't mistake me for that part. So Shatabhishak nakshatra is good judgment as well as punishment. So these people can be lawyers too. Varuna is a lawyer for the people who commit sins in the water. So if you see that any sin committed on land is punished by Yama. Any sin committed in the water is punished by Varuna. So Varuna Deva rules over the waters. Any being harmed under the waters or anything happening under the waters is under his control. The whole world that we have not seen under the waters, the 70% of this entire world which is covered under water, is the domain of Varuna Deva. We think that our earth and just the muddy part of our earth is the most of the earth and most activities happen on this place. No, actually, if I would tell you, the most activities happen actually under the ocean that we have not discovered as humans. There are many important aspects of our life which are governed by the waters, which are governed by the cosmic force inside the oceans, etc. So Pacific Ocean, all of these oceans have to be known before we get into them too much, because these oceans have the power of Varuna Deva. Varuna Deva is known as the one who is controlling the entire waters, and he moves up with radioactive powers facing downwards and protects the entire water area of this world. He was in the Ramayana. He was actually not listening to Rama. So Rama was sending a Brahmastra toward him when he bowed down to Rama. So that shows again that all of these deities finally bow down to the Supreme Lord. Agni one day said, "I can burn anything anybody brings to me." The Lord brought him a piece of grass which was dry, which is easy to burn. He tried to burn it, but unfortunately it didn't get burnt. He tried so much, his life energy was ebbing away, but still he was trying. And the Lord said, "See, you will not be able to do it because it is having my cosmic power." Again, the horsemen, Ashwini Devatas, etc., all of these Devatas finally bore on to the Supreme Lord. In the Mahabharata, Ramayana and the Vedas, the Lord, Sri Krishna, is known as the Supreme. That's it. Or it can be Shiva also. It can be Brahma. It can be anybody that you think, but it finally comes to Vishnu, the preserver, the maintainer, the creator and the destroyer too. So, herbs and flower remedies, etc., especially flower remedies. So this nakshatra is considered mostly for flower remedies. So if you want to study a new subject, then take the stars Dhanishta and Shatabhishak on medical treatises. So if you want to study Ashtanga Hridayam, if you want to study Ashtanga Sangraham, if you want to study any medical treatise, take the nakshatras Dhanishta and Shatabhishak. And if you want to study about flowers and how their healing properties are, start this on a day which is governed by Shatabhishak, along with different kinds of planetary conjunctions, and you'll see that this will prove to be a very, very good thing for you, and you will be able to succeed in your studies very much. So Shatabhishak Nakshatra, each of the nakshatras have their own powers of studying. Ashwini Nakshatra, take that. If you want to learn how to ride a horse, take Ashwini. Bharani Nakshatra, if you want to know how to do this gambling, etc., or not exactly gambling, stock market, etc., do it in Bharani, but again it's bad. And I'm telling you that because that accumulates bad karma. Kritika Nakshatra, start a Agni sacrifice in Kritika Nakshatra, worship the Lord Agni. Rohini, grow a plant or start a study of botany. Mridashira, you can learn more about animals, especially the deer, etc. So you can know lots of things about them. Ardra, like this we can see so many things. Ardra, like machinery, this, that, snake energy, even Ashlesha. Like this we can learn so much about each one of the nakshatras. We want to learn a special thing, then we can go to that particular nakshatra and choose it. God has given us this wonderful power of the stars which influence each one of the activities and give us plus effects or minus effects on the particular karmas that we do, and we land up doing it on a wrong day. To reduce the bad karmas, we can't reduce the bad karmas. To reduce the bad effects of the karmas, we can take a good muhurta. So, he is the god of sin, deaths, injury and disease. He can bring these calamities upon us, and he can even cure these things. He can destroy sins. Varuna Deva is like that. Same with water. What is water? What is Varuna? Varuna is the god of water. Water, it can also bring you injury, it can bring you problems, it can bring you financial problems, it can bring you distress, it can bring you disease, it can bring you so many different kinds of things. We will be sitting here discussing so much bad things and good things about water. Water can bring us diseases. If we keep it clean, water can bring us happiness, it can give us health, etc. So in the same way, water can do both good and bad. That again depends on our behavior, our past karmas. What you are going to do now, you are going to trouble somebody else today. You are going to beat somebody, you are going to kill somebody, you are going to go and feed somebody, you are going to give something to somebody, you are going to give a few rupees to the beggar. You're going to, not at all rupees, like if you're going to give a shirt or a cloth, etc. If you're trying to do such things, the same things will come multifold to you the next birth. Your Jataka will be prepared according to your behaviors in this birth. But the only thing is that you will not know in the next birth that you had done this, and that's why you are getting this particular thing. Nor will you know when will you get it. The astrologer does this thing of telling you that you had done this in your previous birth. So you're getting this, beware or be grateful, etc. So that's about astrology. It's a very wonderful subject which can give you the things of all of these things. Same with water, Varuna, Shatabhishak Nakshatra. So we can see such things clearly in the nakshatra Shatabhishak. Let's see a few qualities of Shatabhishak Nakshatra. That's the wheeling star. So I just have to see the camera. Okay, so I'll begin again. Just a second. So yes, I had to continue since the movie recording would have stopped automatically. So let's see the qualities of the nakshatra Shatabhishak. Shatabhishak Nakshatra has this wonderful quality of being a shut thing. So in the waters we can see the oyster. The oyster is always shut. Nobody knows whether there's a pearl or a special thing or a discovery or a history inside that particular oyster. Moment they open it, you will know about it. But to open it, it's a very difficult task, and even to find it is a difficult task. Shatabhishak can be equated with that. Under the ocean, most things are wheeling. You cannot find it. So Shatabhishak nakshatra is known as, let's see, a small, very very easy to understand thing. That is, the Arabs consider Shatabhishak nakshatra as very fortunate. The Arabs. And according to the Vedas, the Shatabhishak nakshatra is known as the wheeling star. No wonder these Arabs, having learnt astrology etc. from the Hindus, are using the same thing, and they wheel themselves considering Shatabhishak as a very fortunate nakshatra. So it was known as a fortunate thing for the king etc. So they wheel themselves for that particular purpose, especially the women of that community of Arabs. So this Lord Varuna presides over the west. Again we can see the west is influenced by Rahu, which is the Lord of Shatabhishak nakshatra. And more than that, Shatabhishak nakshatra being owned by Rahu gives this taboo breaking attitude that is common in the West. The West has almost forgotten its religion, and they have to revive their religion and bring it back. And then you'll see lots of aspects are there in every single religion. It's not only Hinduism that has everything, but it's Hinduism that has given the seeds to other religions, most probably. But in the other way, it's like all religions have their own things, which again come out from their religious texts. So all religious texts come back to one truth. There is somebody called God, and that God is known through astrology, through the Vedas, through the Shastras. But if one gets too much into this, one forgets the Lord without getting obsessed with such things. Let's think of the Lord and get in deeply to these subjects, and then see the particular fragrance that it gives out to you. So the qualities of this nakshatra are wheeling. They wheel themselves a lot. They do not allow their qualities to be exposed to the people outside them. They are also, they keep a certain aspect or a certain percentage of their life away from others. They do not let that particular thing be let out to others. So a circle enclosing a space. That means, when I showed you in the beginning of this video, this particular circle shows that these people need some place for themselves. They want to be self-contained for some time, or they cannot live properly. It is a circle. Imagine this is a circle, okay? So this circle has a little space inside it. Now this space needs to be used by that particular person. So that's one tendency they have inside. And this is the place where Kundalini energy gets activated. And this is the female horse also. So these people must stop being too much harsh speech and brusque actions. So remember the phrase Sahasa vidadhitara kriyam avivekah paramapadampanam vrinate vimrishyakarinam gunalubha swayameva sampadah. So in the Shastras, especially in the Mahabharata, Yudhishthira says to Bhima, when Bhima gets angry with all the Kauravas, that do not do your work very hastily. Wait and stop and do the work. Aviveka paramapadam padam. Having no sense is the beginning of all troubles and the end of all troubles as disaster. Vrinutehe vimrishyakarinam gunalubdha swayameva sampadah. All the fortunes, wealth, etc. things in our lives and victory come only after considerable thinking, and all of these qualities only come into a person who is vimrishyakarina, one who is always one who first devises the pros and cons of a particular thing and then the acts. So to such a person, all the different qualities of a person's life comes into them. So we can see easily these things happening in a person's life. Shatabhishak and Ashwini. Run fast, do things fast, etc. must not be done. This can cause rash actions in life. So just slow the pace down. Go a little slow. I know Shatabhishak and Ashwini nakshatra people generally like to do that fast activity way, which can sometimes be helpful for them. And I know that you will like this kind of a lifestyle, but still reduce this speed of action, otherwise it will bring you into a problem. So, Rahu, the ruling planet, represents the Kundalini or the serpentine energy present in this nakshatra. Ardra, Swati, Shatabhishak all have the serpentine energy, but Shatabhishak ends with a medicinal serpentine energy. Ashlesha also has the same medicinal serpentine energy with a twisted serpent as a symbol. That is also symbol for medical things. So Ashlesha and Shatabhishak are very important stars in medical treatises, etc. So the shadowy side of Shatabhishak is loneliness and depression, which is the empty circle that I showed you. This empty circle means that one will not always be in society and one will need to be within this space. Of course, this space is also there inside this space, but this space is quite different from the rest of the space. So they want to be self-contained for some time inside this place. So 100 stars form the nakshatra Shatabhishak. So a large group of faint stars which can not be counted at all, almost, so people can't count it, very faint stars. So Rishis have divided it as 100, and that's why they call the star Shatabhishak. So these people in Shatabhishak nakshatra have 100 reasons to just get into self-containment. They can't be in society for too much time. They have to come inside, they can't go on the stage. I have met a few people in Shatabhishak nakshatra who can't come on the stage, like they can't express themselves, so they have lots of things to tell. So one-to-one conversation and self-containment, being alone, studying alone, etc. is the best thing to do. So try such things and you will see you will succeed. So a feeling of paralysis, apathy and suffering, and a feeling of paralysis like to do like that Varuna's tendency of like suffer for your karmas. Varuna is the god of the west, which is also where Shani decides. Shani and Varuna both give the same impression. You do bad, you get bad. You just do good, you get good. But I am not the person who gives you good, I am the person who gives you bad. But if you do good, I will tell the others to give you good. So that is what this particular Varuna gives into the person. So obstacles and obstruction in early life begins due to Saturn influence. And chronic illnesses coming under Shatabhishak will need 100 physicians to remove them, is what is given by the Shastras. So Ashwini, whenever a person gets a problem, just relax when Ashwini nakshatra starts. So take a leave off, be self-contained when Ashwini nakshatra comes. You'll feel a little more better, you'll feel more revitalized. For example, you're having a big problem in your life with Shatabhishak nakshatra, rest in Ashwini. In the same way, if it's happening in Kritika nakshatra, if you're born in Kritika nakshatra and you're having a big problem, like talk to a person with Pushya nakshatra or rest within Pushya on the day which is ruled by Pushya. Take a leave off, just go for a picnic or something on Pushya nakshatra. Ashwini Shatabhisha, Shatabhisha Ashwini, Pushya Kritika, Kritika Pushya. In this way, we can make ourselves really calm and nice. So Dhanishta Purva Bhadra and like that, Shravana Purva Shada, like this, one should make one's day better by following the same gender star. So the first pada of Shatabhishak gives the effect of beautiful, liberal and happy. Second pada, short temper, easily provoked and sinful. Third pada, sickness of liver, noble acts, rich. Fourth pada, conduct, good, clever worker, happy. All of these four padas give such effects. But again, I would like to tell you that most of these effects will not come until a particular yogas, until a particular combinations, until a particular planets, until a particular divisional charts are all assessed together, giving the particular thing. And that work can only be done by a qualified, correct astrologer. So, one more thing I want to tell you in this video is, I am saying a few qualities in these nakshatras. That doesn't mean that the entire life is influenced by just a star, that the moon is inside. There are billion more matters that that a neophyte in astrology is supposed to consider, like all of us. So we are all supposed to consider lots of different kinds of things before we get in deeply into astrology. If you're in the last levels, or if you are in the astrology has no last level actually. It keeps going forward and forward. It's a sea. It's a ocean. So one must contemplate deeply on the devas to get. Most of astrology is actually intuition power. Intuition power and planetary positions together take a 50-50 balance in astrology. So that's why we must not take all of these qualities just like that. Instead, look at the other planetary positions and then only tell the exact effects. Okay, in one of the nakshatras it says not rich. Not possible. Again, in other planetary position there might be a Dhana Yoga, there might be like a fortune or a Raja Yoga, etc. So if these things are there, person becomes rich. In the same way, any star, for example, Dhanishta, Shravana, Shatabhishak might say you might become very rich, but again, in your chart, if it says Daridra Yoga, plus everything breaks open. So we can't exactly consider everything through the nakshatras. So this is about Shatabhishak nakshatra, and now let's see a few more details about Shatabhishak nakshatra. 6 degrees 40 minutes to 20 degrees of Aquarius is ruled by the nakshatra Shatabhishak. Symbols of this nakshatra is an empty circle, 100 physicians, stars or flowers. The ruling planet of this nakshatra is Rahu. The nature of this nakshatra is Raksha, actually Rakshasa, and the primary motivation is Dharma, right activity. So Rakshasa and Dharma is the same for Dhanishta also, which makes this person really powerful in his Dharma attitude. So he wants to always be in Dharma. So the animal symbol of this nakshatra is a female horse, which is compatible fully with Ashwini nakshatra, the male horse. The direction is south of this nakshatra. South direction is the direction of this nakshatra. So the sounds are Go, Sa, Si and Su for this nakshatra. So these are for Prashna. Qualities of this nakshatra is Tamas, Sattva and Sattva. So Sattva, why I said twice, is because the ruler Rahu is a Tamas, but rest of that Varna is Sattvika. And along with that, a few more things, that is, we can see, even though Shani is a ruler, this star being having this physician etc. things and a Sattva Guna kind of thing with Dharma, we give two Sattvas in one Tamas to this. So the deity is Varuna, the god of the waters. Shatabhishak on the ascendant gives interest in mysticism and astrology. Service oriented, quiet, all its philosophical nature, political interests, travel for educational purposes, intelligent, trouble with alcohol, deception is problems with people who are born in Shatabhishak on the ascendant. Problems and good things also. So all of these things cannot be exactly assessed just by the ascendant or the moon, etc. Lots of consideration have to be foreseen when you see, even until the Navanamamsha. So, Moon in Shatabhishak gives this truthful, principled and charitable nature. Writing skill, excellent memory, interest in astrology, psychology, daring, adamant, bold nature, defeats enemies, opinionated, independent, artistic nature is Moon in Shatabhishak. Sun in Shatabhishak gives good intelligence, creative genius, hardworking, humanitarian concern. Writing ability, philosophical nature, needs external encouragement, sickly. That is because of Shani and Sun conjunction. No, not conjunction, I mean relation. Shatabhishak career interests are astrologers and astronomers because it symbolizes 100 stars. And physicians and healers because it symbolizes 100 physicians. And writers and research work, since Shani is there as an important influence. And clerical work, secretaries, Rahu's influence, engineers, electricians, Sun's influence and also Rahu's influence, organizational development, Sun's influence and Shani's influence. So like this we can assess how these nakshatras have such qualities. Health issues, arthritis and rheumatism, that is because of Shani's influence. Heart trouble and hypertension, that is because of Sun and Rahu's influence respectively. Calves and ankles, that is because of the nakshatras Kalapurusha Bhaga. Jaw problems and TMJ, that is because of chewing too much chewing gum. So for Shatabhishak people, I advise, please do not have chewing gum. This is very important. Please do not have chewing gum. Please don't have chewing gum. Stop eating junk food related to chewing gum. This will really cause you TMJ. Shatabhishak people are vulnerable to TMJ, so be careful. Bone fractures, Shani's influence, and jaw problems and TMJ, again Shani's influence. So look for Shani's place and Rahu's place, and importantly the and also Sun's place in this nakshatra, along with, that is, its Sun is in Shatabhishak. So we have seen lots of things related to this nakshatra. So let's see the Brihad Jataka's influence, the Brihad Jataka's opinion on this. So let's open the Riksha Adhyaya. Again, these effects given in this book of Varaha Mihila also cannot be fully followed. Again, many other planetary conjunctions and aspects and positions etc. are very important. So let's see Shatabhishak. Plain and truthful, stricken from sorrow through females, killer of enemies, adventurous and irreconcilable. So adventurous and irreconcilable are the qualities of a person born in this nakshatra. So that is because of Rahu and Saturn influence on this nakshatra. A few good things and a few bad things come with every nakshatra. We can't stop that, that's fate. We always do a few bad things and good things in our lives. Depending on the percentage, we get the percentage of good things and bad things in our present life. So there is no need of any problems happening to anybody. So let's look at everything in a good way, and also let's look at everything in a way in which we can cure the problems that we are getting in it. So take these qualities and think about them, use this information for yourself, and you see how it will help you. So therefore we have finished the nakshatra Shatabhishak, not finished exactly, just seen a few aspects. So thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.